Welcome to Box Delights. Today I'm showing you backpacks and blisters. This is an upcoming game from Nagna Brothers. It's a game for 1 to 6. I guess you'd say it's a Euro game at heart, but it really fits into that genre of British games, those brick boxes that I like to talk about. Steve, Gary and Phil from Nagna Brothers are good friends of mine, and they've lent me this prototype. The box is a little bigger than what you'll see in the final game. This is a mock-up of what the final game will look like. And we're set in the Lake District. We have a cloth map, and the aim of this game is that we're going to be ramblers. And on this map of the Lake District, we're going to be starting here in Keswick. We're going to make our way around the map scoring points, and we're going to score points by visiting certain landmarks and beauty spots. We're going to get bonus points from travelling on bus routes or taking the ferry across Derwent Water here, or even bonus points at some of these refreshment stops. We're going to begin our Lakeland walk at 10 AM and we've got until 6 PM to make our way back. If we don't make it back in time, we lose the game with no points at all. The player to finish with the most points is the winner. So we're going to be competing over reaching certain landmarks first. These large named locations are your landmarks, okay? And our means to getting around the map are through these rambling cards, which is going to be a deck of cards. I'm going to set everything up now and show you how this plays. And we're going to actually play the solitaire variant. This plays 1 to 6, remember. Let's take a quick look at the other components. This is our rambling deck. It was called the walking deck. But remember, everything you see here is prototype at this stage. So printing quality, component quality. Although a lot of it's final, a lot of it's getting there. But you're going to see different things. These are the cairns. These are the bonus locations. If you can get to these, you're going to get 10 points. Alright, these are invaluable to winning the game. These are our ramblers. Each player, 1 to 6, is a rambler. This is your walking deck. This is the set of cards that you'll be using to make your way through Derwent Water. We've got equipment cards here. These are things that will help you in your journey. Score markers, bars of chocolate, a time counter. This will record the weather, whether it's sunny or raining. Some money to help you with refreshments, and some chocolate bars to give you a bit of a boost. And then these are tokens that we're using, these stones, to mark which prime locations you've visited in multiplayer game. First player to visit a target location where the cairns are is going to get the most points. The second player a few less, the next player fewer still. So you've got that race element in the multiplayer game. And also these leave a mark at prime locations you visit, so you can't score the same prime location, these larger triangles and circles, more than once. I'm going to take the red player. So there's a set of these cubes for each player. We'll place our rambler here at Keswick and our score marker down here at the start. Each player begins with £1 to help us on our way, and the rest go in the supply over here, as does the chocolates. We're going to start the game with sunny at 10 AM, and there's an indicator down here that says we're going to begin with 4 cards. But before we draw those cards, we need to set our starting cairn locations, those targets we need to try and get to for those extra points. We're going to be looking for a score of around 50 points minimum. We want in excess of 70 points. 100 is a massive target, but if we can get more than 80, then we've got a good score. Alright, so keep that in mind. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our 5 cairns, our 5 target locations, and see where they go. After we've done that, we're going to shuffle these back into the deck. So we've got porting scale. What you'll see on these is there's like a little mini map here that shows you exactly whereabouts on the map each of these locations is going to be. There's one here. Then we're going to deal our 4 cards. You'll be doing that to each player in the game. We're playing solo, remember. Oh, and we should have grabbed a bar of chocolate as well for the start of the game. there's a couple of heavy rucksack tokens. I'll explain those when we get going. But now we're going to shuffle in these blister cards. These are just a nuisance. When you find these, are going to just clog up your hand. And change of weather. That's going to flip the time token from sunny side to rainy side and vice versa. And what we're going to do is shuffle those into this main deck. I've got to say the Ragnar Brothers team has done a great job with the rules here. It's fresh, new ideas, delivering new types of gameplay, which I really love about this little publishing house. The heavy rucksack, this is going to weigh us down at various stages during the journey. Now, when you're playing multiplayer, you're going to vote for who carries the heavy rucksack. Carrying the heavy rucksack is going to slow you down and let you move less. I'll show you as we get into the game. In the solo game, it has the same effect, but you kind of carry it for a bit, then you get tired and it slows you down, and then you manage to, carry it for a bit without bother, and it slows you down again, alright? But at the start of the game, it's not going to weigh you down much. So what we do is we drag off 5 cards, and we're going to mix in the heavy rucksack. We're not quite sure where in the first 5 cards, so we're alright once we set out, but it's going to start to trouble us at some point within the first 5 turns. Right, so there's our rambling deck, and we'll place this up here. At this stage, players are thinking about where they want to go. Now remember, multiplayer, you're going to be kind of racing to get to these bigger locations. These are going to score you 10 points. These prime locations are going to score you between 2 and 4. So the Grange here is 2, Maidenmoor 3, High Seat 4. High Seat's one of these locations that kind of drags you out of the way a little bit, and it's hard to reach. The circle locations are like valleys. You find lots of pools and rivers in these, and then the triangles, the peaks, so you might find hilltops or mountaintops. Now we've got quite a broad distribution here for this game, so it's going to be quite tricky. We've got one that's quite close to us here at point scale right at the beginning of the game, at this little public house here by the looks, so there's refreshments here. But you might want to think about your routes, so maybe something like, well, do we go for this one? This is on a bus route, which is quite handy. This is the 555 route, so if we can find out where, yeah, the other stop's down here, so that doesn't help us too much, does it? There's a bus route between these 2 locations. And this one down here at Green Gables is quite a long way away. So we've got quite a lot of travelling to do. A high rise might be okay. Maybe back this way, get the bus. Yeah, this one's quite a long way away. There's a little nestle of cairns up here. So it's going to be quite tough. It's going to be quite tough, with, I think, particularly with Green Gable out where it is. We do have to start and finish here, remember, and we've got to do that by 6 PM. Place this little overlay here on the map that shows you that if you finish and make it back to Keswick by this time, when the time marker gets to here, you'll get a bonus 3 points. And then the longer you leave it, you'll get fewer bonus points and actually start to lose points. But if you get the time marker hits here before you've made it back, then you lose the game, you get nothing. There are a couple of refreshment breaks along the way. So there's like a lunch break and a tea break here, where you get some more coins. You'll have a rummage around in your backpack as you find your lunch, you'll find another coin perhaps. Coins can be used in different ways, so for bus journeys, ferry journeys, buying more chocolate. And we'll look at the importance of those as we get going. So with that in mind, we get to choose some starting equipment. And there's different points. At each of those rest stops, you're going to get to choose another one of these. You can't take the same piece of equipment twice in the solo game. In the multiplayer game, you'll just have to kind of win the opportunity of picking first. And you don't necessarily want to take the best thing first. You've got to think, how am I going to use the items I'm going to need? Yeah, if I'm going to head this way, I think I'm going to take the walking sticks. This one says add 1 circle to each card. The Kendall Mint Cake, deduct 1 circle or 1 triangle when carrying the heavy rucksack. I might need that later. After placing a stone at a triangle prime location, draw 2 cards. Let's see. Secret Desires, I'll talk about those in a bit. I think we'll take the walking sticks. We'll take the walking sticks to start us off. And this is our starting hand. And what we're looking at here are these circles and triangles. Okay, each card is going to provide us with a different number of circles and triangles. Each card also has a name, and this becomes secret objectives. If we use one of these cards to reach one of the objectives that's in our hand, or indeed on a card that we've used to get there, then we get bonus points. I'll talk about that when we do it. But the circles and the triangles is the most important thing. So for example, to get from Keswick here across here is going to take lots of circles. If I chose to go via high rig, then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles, 1 triangle, and then 2 triangles, 1 more circle, 1 more circle. Do you see? So up, downhill, uphill, downhill. Okay, so I could use something like Green Gable to get me 2 circles down this road, right? Or maybe I could use the Great Oak Wood, 3 circles and 3 triangles. Well, the triangles don't help me, do they? 1, 2, 3, and then there's no route out. There's no route out with triangles. So yeah, not terribly good. But I do have the walking stick now, you see, and this is going to add 1 circle to each card. So 4 circles would get to me to the stone circle where I would score 2 points. 3, 4, this could get me here. 1, 2, 3, 4 could get me here. It's hard to say, but you know, this is the way we're trying to use our cards. Now, I don't particularly like my cards to get me that way. There is a bus stop here, and the bus stop, because it takes you to all bus routes, so I could get the bus straight to here, or I could, remember I've got to get back here at the end, I could get here, come here last, and then take the bus straight back. So that might be a better plan. Maybe I should get the low-hanging fruit. Maybe I should try and go up this way first. So I'm going to head up to Sale Fell. And the good thing about this is I'm holding Sale Fell in my hand. So if I make it to Sale Fell and I've got this card, or I use that card to reach that as the final destination, then I get a bonus. I get a bonus for using that as my secret objective. So yeah, I'm going to head up there first. I've got to think about which way I want to go. I think I'm going to use Great Oak Wood for its 3 circles and 3 triangles, with +1 for the walking stick. No, let's change that. Let's go a different way. Let's use Green Gable. Right. For 2 circles plus the 1 from the walking stick, and I'm going to go this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1 for the walking stick. And that'll get me to Millbeck. I can put a redstone there to say that I've scored that location and take 2 points. 1, 2, discard Green Gable. At the end of every turn you draw a card. Let's see what we get. Oh, it's the heavy rucksack. Okay, that's unfortunate. That's going to slow us down from the start. Never mind. What we do for the remainder of this hour, we're going to be carrying the heavy rucksack. I'll show you what that means. That's not such a bad thing. It just means for 2 turns now we're going to be slowed down. So not a good start. Let's draw a second card. So if you draw a heavy rucksack, draw another card, place in your hand. We get Sprinkling Tarn. That's a long way away. That's not helping us particularly. And now we move the time marker up. And what you'll notice is as we progress past lunch, our hand goes down from 4 cards to 3 cards. After tea, only 2 cards. The other thing is when you're carrying the backpack, like now, in the next hour, we're going to be going easy again, and then the backpack will get carried again and be carried for an hour, and then we lose it again, carry it for an hour, and so on. Okay, let's push on.